Hello HSP family, in this video Leanne and I will be discussing the costs involved when selling a property,
which are agents' fees, rates clearance, bond cancellation fees and capital gains tax.
Stay tuned as we'll discuss this in detail after this break.
Welcome back. Now we are going to actually discuss agent's commission, and Leonita is going to actually explain it to us in layman's terms. Leonita?
Yes, agent's commission is money paid by the seller to the agent for facilitating the sale.
And that is done normally in terms of a mandate. So what is the minimum recommended amount?
What is a mandate?
What is a mandate? A mandate is a legal document that's actually given to an agent to sell the property, which actually gives the description of the property and what the amount is that needs to be the property needs to be sold for, and is signed. And it's an illegal requirement because there's a lot of bogus agents out there selling properties that don't belong to them or to the supposed seller.
So it's basically a seller giving you permission to sell his property, right?
Exactly. It is a permission legal document.
All right, and it's the minimum recommended commission is 5%, and then it can go up to 7.5%. But you know, there's some sellers that will say, "I'll pay you 10%," and
well, we like you.
Yeah, but the minimum is 5%, including VAT.
And it's 5% of the final agreed sale price.
Yes, definitely. Alright, so we're done with agent's commission. We move on to the second one, which is the rates clearance fees. What exactly is that, Leanne?
Well, the local authority actually puts charges onto properties, like rates, which actually used to be received in the post every month, and it has charges like sewage and rubbish collection levies. And when you buy a property, you want to make sure that the rates have been paid. Otherwise, you're going to buy a property and end up with potentially quite a lump sum. So you actually go down to the local authority, well, it's done by
the conveyancer,
and he will check any rates that need to be paid, outstanding balances, and make sure the seller pays them. So when you actually buy your property, you're buying it without any added expenses.
Okay, yeah, just in addition to that, when the seller pays the outstanding rates and levies, and you'll see in our next video when we're talking about the buyer has to pay rates 3 months in advance before any transfer is done. So just when we're talking about rates, I just wanted to highlight that you have to pay 3 months in advance.
Wow. It's really simple. Rates, local authorities,
and levies.
Now we're discussing bond cancellation fees. Now, what is a bond? A bond is a contract between a lender and a borrower. And when selling a property, your deeds are registered at the title deeds office, and any bonds and caveats will be attached to that property, and you cannot sell the property with those documents attached. Now, not anybody can just go and remove that. You need
Yes, it's done by the conveyancer or the lawyer who is handling the transaction. And this is not only those that are registered at the deeds office. You've got people that have properties that they've bought with a mortgage bond, let's say from CABS or from NBS, and they haven't finished paying for that bond. So others can opt to pay the bond off from the proceeds of the sale.
Yes.
So that is also possible and quite legal, but the conveyancer will be in charge of that.
Great. So basically, attorneys, legal authorities in this sector, conveyancers, will make sure that the bonds are removed. And it has to be done through lawyers, and there is a fee to pay to them.
All right. right, so from the bond cancellation fees, we move on to the last one, which is the capital gains tax. And how much is the seller supposed to pay for capital gains?
Well, in February 2019, it was said that 5% of the value of the property, or 20% of the capital gains, is
All right.
payable.
So we're saying properties that were purchased prior to the 22nd of February 2019,
Exactly.
they pay 5%. And then for those purchased after the 22nd of February, they pay 20% of the capital gains. And I believe there's some exemptions.
The exemption is if you're 55 years old. Am I right?
Yes, darling, you're absolutely right. If you're selling the primary residence,
Yes, the
and
primary
you're
residence.
55 years of age and above, then you can be exempted. And a sale out of, a sale by an executor out of a deceased estate. What else?
And transferring properties between spouses.
Yeah, there's a long list, and this you can get section 10 of the capital gains tax. So we can't cover all the exemptions, but these, of course, are in terms of the ZIMRA people. If they agree for the exemptions to take place, it's not a given that if you're 55 years old, then you are automatically exempted. This has to be confirmed by ZIMRA.
And confirm on primary residence. This means that this is the main house that you live in. So if you own 5 properties, you cannot get this exemption on all 5. It is in the home that you
you're
live
living in. Yes, definitely. And we're talking about capital gain tax. What exactly is it?
Well, capital gains tax is the gain in which you have received on purchasing that property. So if you purchased that property, say for $100,000,
Yeah.
and you sold it for $300,000, it is the gain between that. But you also have a deduction of renovations. So now, if you do any building or renovations, it is very imperative that you keep your paperwork.
Yes.
So if one was to go down to somewhere like Halstead's and you got your small slip, if you actually speak to them, they will print it on an A4 paper, you file that. And we're in the digital era, so one would say do a hard copy and soft copy, and that is invoices that ZIMRA will accept, and those become a deduction. So if you spend, say, 100,000, you bought it for 100,000, your gain is actually only 100,000. That helps you pay less capital gains. Otherwise, you'd be paying the capital gains on 200,000.
And we're not here to take the job of the ZIMRA people. Definitely, they will explain everything in detail. And we can't dwell more on capital gains tax because this will require the expertise of the ZIMRA officials. So for more about capital gains, you can either visit our website or go to the ZIMRA website. They explain it quite clearly there.
Very important to use a registered estate agent. If you needed to check, Leonita, how would one go about that?
Please visit the Estate Agents Council of Zimbabwe website, or call them or visit them at their offices at the Newlands Shopping Centre.
Now, if we were to say to people to come and use House of Stone, what is it that we offer?
Oh, amongst many things that we offer, definitely we offer the legal expertise and guidance and support for sellers, free market appraisals of your property. We also do expert navigation of transactions, so we guide you through that.
And in marketing,
Yeah.
we actually have access to larger networks.
Definitely, we have different marketing platforms that we also market your property on.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we are professionals and with top negotiation skills.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow us. We are on all social media platforms. See you in the next video.
Cheers.